fractions, ratios, percentages. You've heard these words before. You've solved a lot of questions based on this in your previous classes. But let's understand these concepts by connecting all of them together as an introduction to this particular chapter, comparing quantities. Because knowing these words perfectly, knowing these concepts perfectly, can simplify this chapter to a level which is well below your level. To begin with, what are fractions? Now, mathematically we can take fractions as nothing but fraction is a number which is written like a division problem. Now, in common language, fraction is nothing but a part. So, if I take 1 by 2 as a fraction, all of us know that it's written like a division problem. This can represent 1 out of 2. So if I take a pizza here, if I just cut it into half, if I take one part of it and if I give one part of it to my friend, so this part of it which I am taking, I can take it as this is 1 part out of 2. So mathematically, that is using numbers, we represent this as 1 by 2 like this. So all of you know what are fractions. So fraction is a part in common language. In math, we represent it like a division problem. Now, since you know this very well, now the next concept, which ratios, again you have done a lot of questions before based on ratio. Now, ratios are nothing but, you must have seen this definition, a comparison of two numbers by division. Now, comparing numbers, most of us relate with signs like equal sign, less than, greater than. So it's not just about comparing, it's actually about how the two numbers are related. Now let's understand ratios in a better way. Now, we can say that ratio is a fraction. Now that's kind of confusing, right? All of you know fraction. Fraction is nothing but what we write as a division problem. So in a way, ratio is nothing but a fraction. Mathematically, that is, if I use numbers and if I represent 1 by 2 or let's say 1 by 3 here, 1 by 3 is a fraction. Now 1 to 3, if I represent it like this, is a ratio also. So using numbers, there is no difference between fraction and a ratio. How are they different is only in the way we use them in words. So if we use words, 1 by 3, let's take a scenario. If there is a pizza like this, if I cut this into 3 pieces, and if I take one part of it, I can write this as 1 by 3 of a pizza. So it is considered as a single number. 1 by 3 is considered together. So we treat this as a single number, 1 by 3 of a pizza. So that's where, so this is a fraction. Now, the same 1 by 3, now let me show you a different scenario. Same pizza, if there are 3 persons, so it's 1 pizza to 3 persons, we can write it as 1:3, or we can write it as 1 pizza divided by 3 persons. Now here, numerator and denominator, they refer to two different things. So in terms of usage, ratio and fraction, this is the difference. Most of us actually don't know the difference, but still they are different only in usage. That when I say usage, when we represent fraction and ratio using words or scenario, there is a subtle difference. What is that subtle difference? I can show you both here. I can write 1 by 3 of a pizza. Here we consider this as a single number. In this case, 1 pizza to 3 persons. Numerator and denominator, they refer to two different things. So mathematically, this is 1 by 3, this is also 1 by 3, but that is by using numbers, they are exactly the same. Fraction and ratio, they are exactly the same. But if I use words, that is in terms of how we use them, there is a subtle difference. That subtle difference is, fraction is used as a single number. Both the numerator and denominator is together as a single number. It represents 1 by 3 of a pizza. Here it's 1 pizza to 3 persons. So these two are two different things. So, but finally, if you just look at numbers, this is also 1 by 3, this is also 1 by 3. That is why ratio is actually a fraction. In mathematically, ratio is nothing but a fraction. All of you know fractions very well. So all of you know ratio also very well. Just that we need to connect and learn like this. Now, it's very simple, right? Since they are used differently, sometimes as I told you, they are shown differently. Like we can show 1 by 3 as 1:3, or 1 pizza to 3 persons, or 1 pizza per 3 persons. These are all representations for ratios. So just to summarize, fraction and ratio, that is ratio is nothing but fraction itself. The only thing is fraction shows a part of something, ratio shows a relationship or a comparison between two different things. But mathematically, when you see both, they look exactly the same.